Does the volatility of the stock market have you nervous about investing? Do the news reports about a trade war or recession give you some pause about doing anything other than investing in CDs? If so, I invite you to call the experienced financial planners at James River Advisors about their fixed income investments that give solid returns with minimal volatility. Your local office in Gate City is managed by Edwin Cox, and he is ready to answer your questions and believes in establishing long-lasting relationships with his clients based on trust. He is ready to help you with financial planning, investments, and much, much more. So give him a call today at 276-690-8014. Again, that's 276-690-8014. He's located at 122 East Jackson Street, next to Dollar General in Gate City. Over the last 11 years, Christina Kilgore Wiggs has continued to demonstrate her vast knowledge of the local real estate market and strives to represent each of her clients with the value and respect they deserve. She is a trusted and well-respected real estate professional, and now she has joined a group who shares her vision of putting clients first. She is now with Conservis Real Estate Group and welcomes the opportunity to serve you and your family. Please call her today at 423-360-0092. That's 423-360-0092. Or go to christina.conservisrealestategroup.com for more information. Whether you're headed out to the game or if you're looking for something great to eat, stop by and see your friends at the Campus Drive-In just down the road from Gate City High School on Kane Street. They have a tremendous selection of breakfast, lunch, and dinner items, and they're open 7 days a week. Campus Drive-In has supported Blue Devil sports for over 60 years, and once again, they are the proud sponsors of our halftime show here on Gate City Sports Radio. Please follow them on Facebook and place your call-in orders by dialing 276-386-3702. Again, that's 276-386-3702.
You are listening to the home of Blue Devil Sports. This is Gate City Sports Radio.
A proud supporter of local athletics, the law office of Jesse Walker McMurray is a local firm dedicated to serving the people of Southwest Virginia and specializing in real estate, wills, trust, and estate planning. Contact Jesse McMurray at 276-690-0773. That's 276-690-0773. They are located in downtown Gate City across from the courthouse at 191 West Jackson Street, Suite 301. All right, and we are back here live on the Campus Drive-In halftime show. About 16 minutes left here of halftime. The Gate City Band, out in their Halloween costumes, having a night here, and of course, with it being senior night and parent night, they'll honor those individuals here as well. So, Chris, what do we got so far stat-wise from this game?
Well, it's been a rushing night. That's one reason I guess the game's gone by so quickly. I've got Reed with 7 yards, Calhoun with 18, Tomlinson with 58, and Blanton with 5 total. On third down conversions, Gate City's 0 for 2, and Wise Central right now is 2 for 6. On punting, both teams have punted twice. Gate City for 35 and 29 yards. Wise Central for 41 and 38 yards. Each team's had one turnover. Wise Central had a fumble. Gate City had the INT. When it comes to the penalties, though, Gate City's been penalized 4 times for 30 yards. Wise Central twice for 6 yards. When we look at the scoring, Gate City got on the board first, 6:27 to go in the first quarter. 1 yard QB sneak by Luke Reed, and the extra point being good put Gate City up 7-0. Wise came storming back, though. Boggs had a 45-yard run at the 3:26 mark to make it 7-all. And then Wise scored again in the second quarter at the 6:59 mark. Bowling had a 9-yard run to make it 14-7. Gate City, though, answered. Reed had another 1-yard run at the 4:19 mark to make it 14-all before letting Wise Central come back. Boggs had another 14-yard run with 1:06 to go right before half to make it the 21-14 score.
All right, so that's the first half. Of course, we've got scores and highlights coming from around the region here. We've got one that Emory's following pretty quick. Emory, do you want to tell us what this one's is?
Right now, Ridgeview is leading against the Panthers of Pikeville 14-13 in the second quarter.
All right, Chris, what else have you got from around the region?
Okay, I've got right now at halftime, Union's leading Abingdon 14-7. J.I. Burton all over Rye Cove 39-0. Patrick Henry leads Chilhowie 14-7. John Battle over Lee 7-0 at last report. That's got to have changed. I've had that score written down for a while. Twin Springs over Thomas Walker 14-7. No score in the Graham Fort Chiswell game. Holston 24, Eastside 14. Not heard anything from Richlands and Lebanon yet. Virginia High is over Marion 34-0. Tazewell up on Grundy 14-0. Richland 7-0 over Lebanon. Oh, wait, I had that one written down twice, so I do have that score. Let's see. We just got the Ridgeview-Pikeville game score. Let's see. Honeacres at 14-7 over Northwood, and Riverheads 14, Buffalo Gap 6.
All right, so that's from around the region here. So we'll take another quick break, come back. We've got more scores and highlights coming through. Of course, we've also got Chris Card's This Day in Sports History.
Oh, and this is a good one.
Oh, this is a Jim Dandy what he says. So anyway, scores and highlights coming from around the region here. More fun on the Campus Drive-In Halftime Show. Again, you're listening to the home of Blue Devil Sports. This is Gate City Sports Radio.
You are listening to the home of Blue Devil Sports. This is Gate City Sports Radio. Sports Radio.
Dedicated to a lifetime of serving others, Maria Calabro continues her pledge to help the residents of Scott County as she is running to become supervisor in District 2 this November. Proudly calling Scott County home all of her life, Maria has studied, worked, and gained valuable experiences by helping not only those in our area, but all across the country and even the world. Maria looks to put her wealth of knowledge and experience to work for Scott County to build infrastructure, create jobs, and help make Scott County a better place to live, work, and raise a family. This November, the candidate in District 2 you need to know is Calabro. Please follow her on Facebook and support her in the general election. Paid for by Maria Supervisor.
All right, and we're back here. Got an updated score just came through. Mr. Emory, what do you say?
Holston Cavaliers beating Eastside Spartans 24-22 in the second quarter.
All right, so that game, again, just that score just came through. Again, the Spartans fighting back in that ball game. So again, that the winner of that ball game will move on and be in the playoffs. For the loser of that game, they would possibly fall out, of course, with 1 week left to play. So, Chris, anything else that's come through the last little bit?
Yeah, George Wythe, 28, Grayson County, 6. That's what we were needing to happen for the points. Mm-hmm. Over in Tennessee, Alcoa's managed to score first. They lead Dobbs Bend at 7-0. Boone is all over Cherokee right now, 17-0. North and Cloudland fighting to a stalemate, 0-0. Bearden's tied with Science Hill, 7-7. Crockett is leading East only 14-7. That's a shocker to me. It looks like Cherokee has managed to score on a tip pass, so now they're only down 17-7 to Boone.
17-7 again. A lot of course, so many games now with playoff implications. Of course, it's the last night of action in the state of Tennessee. Of course, our picking panel, make sure you follow us. Next week will be the last week of that as well. Now, we will not be on the air next Friday night, of course, with our Blue Devils off. Again, we'll wait to see who they will play. Again, that comes out on Sunday. Next Sunday, the VHSL will send that out, and we'll know. And, of course, then we'll announce exactly where we'll be at. We'll probably be at Union, maybe at Richlands, at Graham. One of those three likely destinations for us to open up the playoffs.
Lots of possible scenarios right now. Just going to kind of have to wait till things shake out. Speaking of, Tennessee High has scored first. They lead Sullivan South now 7-0.
Tennessee High, of course, that's a non-conference game for them. Really not a lot to play for other than just, they've just been rolling. But thought that South may give them a game, and, of course, so far it looks like it has been. So as that game with Twin Springs and Thomas Walker still 14-7. Have they went to the half on that one, or are they still in the second quarter?
I've not seen an update on the time on that yet, just the score.
Upset.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say, Richlands, they've let Lebanon creep back into this. They're tied 7-7 now at halftime.
7-7 against the Lebanon team. Lebanon, of course, knocked off Virginia High last week for their first win of the season. But again, a win there by Lebanon would eliminate Richlands from being one of those top 3 seeds, I know, from the playoffs from that standpoint next week. So, Chris, there's been texts, there's been clamoring, the phones have been ringing. It's about that time, buddy. It's time for this day in sports history.
Well, Joe, did you know on this day in 1913, Notre Dame upsets Army 35-13 in the college's inaugural football game?
That was what year?
1913.
Wow.
Kind of got a late start on things. Quarterback Gus Doris was 14-17 for 243 yards and 2 touchdowns. And receiver Newt Rockney used the forward pass effectively. In 1924, Boston Bruins officially joined the NHL, becoming the first United States-based team to enter the league. The Montreal Maroons also joined, but only lasted until 1938. I still want to know, what is a Maroon? I'm perhaps wondering if they didn't just misspell moron. 1946, the first Basketball Association of America game. The New York Knicks beat the Toronto Huskies 68-66 at the Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto. 1950, Celtics forward Chuck Cooper becomes the first African American to play in the NBA in Boston's 107-84 loss to the Fort Wayne Pistons.
You can't mess with the Pistons.
1953, Herb Thomas, driving his own number 92 Hudson Hornet, wraps up the NASCAR Grand National Championship with a 14th place finish in the 100-mile finale at Atlanta's Lakewood Speedway. Thomas becomes the first repeat champion of the series.
So is that where they got the Hudson Hornet in the movie Cars?
Yes, it is, actually.
Very well. Good job.
1959, future Pro Football Hall of Fame running back Jim Brown runs for 5 touchdowns in Cleveland Browns' 38-31 win over the Baltimore Colts at Memorial Stadium. Was that the Browns' last win?
You would think so if you were reading the papers the last little bit.
1966, L.A. Dodgers pitcher Sandy Koufax becomes the first 3-time winner of the Cy Young Award. He's a unanimous winner for the second straight year, and this was the final year. To me, this was really impressive, of only one award given for pitchers in both leagues. So he won it 3 times, Koufax did. 1981, Darrell Waltrip wins his 4th straight NASCAR Cup race, the American 500 at North Carolina Motor Speedway. Tied Richard Petty's record from 1967 as his 12th win of the season, and, of course, he went on to win the Winston Cup Championship. Then, on an incredibly sad note for me, on this day in 1999, Walter Payton passed away, one of the greats.
One of the greats, if not the greatest running back ever. He was something else, so sweetness.
Well, he's no John Riggins, but
I mean, of course,
he was fun to watch, though.
Who is John Riggins? Who is a John
I was not a
Riggins?
Bears fan, but I could certainly appreciate what he did on the field. So that's this day in sports history.
Thank you very much. And of course, talking about action coming up tomorrow. Now, are you headed down for the Alabama Birmingham?
I am.
Coming down.
It's my turn to drive, so I'm picking my dad up at 2:45. We're heading to Knoxville.
So that's going to be a 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock kickoff, and I mean, it's you try to pick an easy team for homecoming, but UAB's coming in pretty loaded. They've lost 1 game this season. I'm not. I mean, I think Tennessee will win, but I'm not not 100% confident. I think it's got the potential to be a pretty good game.
In other local sports action, the Virginia Tech Hokies, Emory, tell us a little bit about who they're taking on tomorrow.
Well,